Today on my channel planner friends, let's do a twofer. Let's get my Happy Planner Classic and my mini ready for November. I don't know, we'll do a little planning, a little chit chat. How about we set some intentions for November, which is hard to imagine, but this is going to be busy. We're going to kick off the holidays soon. And yeah, I want to get in here and have a Happy Planner Fest, if you will. So please, friends, join me. Stay tuned. Hello planner friends and welcome to my channel. I am One Crafty Dolo. Sorry about the little sunlight coming through the blind. This is the time I've got to film and I'm filming ahead for a change, so please bear with me. If you're new, you're welcome to join my growing community. We have such a wonderful, lovely group. I appreciate you if you're a subscriber, you comment, you lift my day more than you might know. I didn't even know, I got a little tea on here. I have a Happy Planner mug, which I didn't know they carried until last year. I always have a good cup of tea in here. So pull a cup of something up and let's have a twofer today. So this is my goal planner, channel planner, project planner. This is the everyday Bible, if you will. Now, to be fair, I use these two in tandem. This goes with me everywhere. Even if I'm not intending to look at it, I end up looking at it. And this is the more detailed version of our life. So what I'd like to do is to get in here and to decorate a little bit and to set things up. Now, if you're with me, you know that this custom cover is from Happy Cover Girl Co. And it's adorable. And this, Joann's, don't we all miss Joann's? Losing Joann's was more of a blow than I would have realized. It really has been. So many people are so sad. Okay, so now let's get in here and get ready. I already planned for this week in here, but I need to get ready I want to set it up a little bit for November. If you know, my mother passed away and I'm filming this before I leave to go home for her memorial and all of that. So that's a bit on my mind to say, needless to say. So in here, we're going to use my Simply Gilded Kit Maple Blush, and it's brand new. I haven't even opened all these washies. I haven't opened up, there's 2 pet tapes. They look like they're the same thing, but 2 pet tape, maybe one didn't come out. She'll do that. If one doesn't come out to what she likes, Irene will just throw in that one and with the new and improved version. So we have that for here. For this one, we're going to use some, let's see here. I've got Happy Planner stickers, and I think I will use the Mojo Jojo Rainbow Shapes and so forth. But you know what? I kind of want to get in here first for some reason. So let me just move this and show you what I've done. Now, I tend to decorate a whole month the same in that if I'm inking, which I did in, October in here, I will do that. Add in tip-ins, I'll do it every week, right? So I tend to be pretty consistent. I used one of my Chrissy Ann Designs sticker subscription kits for this one, except for the tip-ins. In my Cozy Era, that is probably my favorite sticker, although they are all cute, but the cat and the chair, if you know, you know. And what I did is I made a Little Things Matter list every week to get me to do something, right? And, I'm trying to be positive because my mother my mother was the most positive person you'd ever want to meet, the most encouraging, the most loving. Don't get me wrong. When we were idiots, she would let us know we were being idiots, but she was so encouraging. So let me show you this. I did show this in a short, but I don't think that does it justice. I gotta be honest with you. So we have dates here, and I think I will use those along with, okay. This deco sheet I'm going to save for the pocket planner. Jasper and Juniper. Oh, I love them. I love Simply Gilded. It is, it's my favorite. So we'll save that one for the pocket planner. These are gorgeous, aren't they? I feel like, oh my gosh, do you do this? Do you have stickers you love so much? You want to save and hoard them and never use them, which is stupid. I know, but I'm being honest. So we have this sheet, which is great. All these little bits and bobs. And I always like the bows. I love these. I haven't used, there we go. I want to use these definitely along with the dates. And then, of course, some of the deco here. I have not used, I'm trying to think, have I used this? I don't think I've used Simply Gilded in here. No, I've used it last week in my classic, but I haven't used it in here. Alrighty, so let's get into it, shall we? So let me see here. Okay, so this starts Monday the 3rd. Oof, that's hard to imagine. And I feel like I'm going to dive in with the pink. So let's dive in here with some pink, right? And just get some dates on here. So remember that. I need to remember that. So I don't know who needs to hear this, but I want us to really focus on gratitude for November. A few years ago, I made a series of journaling prompts. I'm going to post them, reissue them, if you will, on my Medium page. Medium is free for you to read, but they will require you to like create a login at some point. So you're welcome to join me on the 30 days of gratitude. In the States, November is Thanksgiving. I know Canadian Thanksgiving is in October, but I really think that focusing on, gratitude in November does make a difference for me. And it helps me go into the holiday season far less frantic, turkey in the rain kind of. So I did create a gratitude journal inside one of my faith journals, and I like how that came out. But I want to actually do a little more than that. So in some of my other journaling spaces, I think we will create more of those, like gratitude journaling spaces. I don't know. I'm going to see what I do. But I do know one thing. By the time this airs, will be Wednesday the 29th. I'll be headed home. So I'm going home, not where I grew up, but where my parents live now. Although it's the same state we lived in, but they're, way south of where we grew up. And I'll be headed home while this is dropping, actually. So I'll be doing a lot of thinking on that plane about, what I'm going to do in November in terms of writing, in terms of gratitude. And I think I feel... what I have to do is sad but necessary. It's a life passage. But I want to continue being positive and grateful, which is what my mom taught us. To whom much is given, much is expected. So I'll continue sharing my stories. And if you haven't checked out my sewing series, hopefully you will, because I shared... First off, I have to get my hair under control, because when I was cutting the pattern, my ridiculous hair was all over the place, and I'm sorry. But I shared my parents' love story, which is not traditional, but lovely and beautiful. And I don't know, I feel like I grew up watching them, and I had a front row seat to what love is. And for that, I feel very blessed. So anyway, I hope wherever you are, that you're going into November strong and blessed, and know that I'm wishing you all my best. Okay, I am not going to hoard these, but I want to use some of those maybe. And let's see what else we've got. These squares, I love these. I mean, her kids are gorgeous. I don't know how else to say it, So I'm going to decorate in here. I might plan a few things that I have coming up. The cat. We want to use the cat. Yes, we do want to use the kitty cat. I have 2 tuxedo girls. They need to have... Do you know of any sticker shops that have tuxedo cats on them? Because I've not found them, and I want to find them. Anyway, I don't know how much planning I'm doing in here is all I was saying. I'll figure it out, but yeah. I really like... I know I don't drink coffee. I drink tea, but I don't mind coffee stickers. It's the same premise, right? Alrighty, I think we're going to put you... Okay, let me think. So Monday's always catch-up day. Tuesday I do a lot. I am going to give myself some coffee time on Thursday. How's it actually here? Incidentally, I did watch a live not that long ago. The Happy Planner is going to get rid of this little side checklist thing they have going on there. I think too many people complained, and that's not a bad thing. Okay, I think that we had the right to complain. You know, people didn't like it, they didn't want it, so yeah, they're removing it. I just didn't pay any mind, to be honest with you. I just decorated around it. Like I don't know, it just didn't faze me as much, I guess, as it could have. Let's see here. You know what? These are so cute. What to use, friends? What to use? I think I'm going to use this one up here. And I'm going to put you over here. Yeah, here. See, yeah, I'm just kind of covering up their little checklist. Erin Condren does that, so maybe they thought that Happy Planner thought they would do that to kind of, yeah. Okay, so the question is which, they have a coffee-ish one. I think I'll take that. Oh, and a croissant and jasper one. Oh my gosh, there's so much goodness. So I'm going to cut these open and yeah. Okay, so I unwrapped these three. And I also unwrapped one of the pet tapes. And also getting in here, I don't usually do this over here. I want to do that this month. So let's see how I'm going to play with these washi. And then we'll add more stickers or not. Or you know what? I can add some of the pet tape stickers, I think. Oh no. I hate when that happens. The nail polish gets peeled off because I'm trying to peel this off. Right? Ugh. Anyway, so I have a story for you, friends. And this just came to our attention, and I'm sharing it because as a reminder that to all of us, okay? Because sometimes something happens and it's really, you're not happy, you're upset, but in the end, it's one of those things where, look, things always work out, and we don't always get to see that, but you have to know that if you're removed from people, a place, something, it works out in your benefit, whether you know it or not. Okay. So my husband and I had met at work years ago, and we worked together, and then we worked together again in another place by choice. We have a good ability to work together. I may only use one washi. We'll see. We are lucky we can do that, right? We can work with each other and still like not kill each other and all that. Okay. So we worked in a place and it was a tough place. In fact, we moved back to the state where we used to work in a different place. Ooh, the wind's whipping around if you hear that. Anyway, so the place we worked, you know, we did our best, and sometimes your best isn't good enough for people, and you know, we ended up leaving, and it was not a pleasant departure by any means, but okay, whatever. People are so stupid, right? I hate to be that way. I love our community, we're positive, but this does have a positive spin. Let me finish here. Well, we just found out, because we're back in the same state and we're hearing the news, that the place where we used to work, and thank God we left, they slashed their budget, not by a little, by 56%. 56. The budget is so bare bones that we would have been, even if we had stayed, we would have had to leave then at this point. And we heard that, and it was one of those moments. I mean, 56%, they slashed the budget, and we looked at each other like, oh, and we both said to each other, I mean, can you imagine had we stayed? What would that have been? And I don't know what that would have been, but I do know one thing. It would not have been good. I can tell you that much. And so I'm only sharing this, and I'm not laughing. I'm not happy about it. Believe me, I feel bad for the people who are still working there. I feel bad for the person who took over as director. I mean that. I feel bad because, you know, they sold that person a bill of goods, and it's kind of like bait and switch. Like, oh, come and join us. Oh, wait, they're cutting the budget, you know? I believe he has a young family and on and on. So what a horrible situation. understand he moved for this job, and oof, what a horrible situation for he and his, young family. But here's the thing, friends. Sometimes when something ends in a less than pleasant manner, there's a good reason for it. And this can be a relationship with someone. This can be, a work situation. This could be a friendship, okay? It could be so many things. And little do you know, you're being taken care of. And things are going to work out for you in ways that you cannot imagine. And again, hear me on this. I am not happy for this person. I feel really bad. Truth be told, I feel really bad for them because they're a young family. They're moved to the middle of nowhere, which is where this was. And now what are they going to do? Are they going to have to leave? Are they going to have to depart? Are they going to have to blah, blah, blah? Well, probably. And what does that mean for their future? But when I saw this, I heard something on the news about this county, and they're slashing and they're doing this and that. And I looked it up and I just went, oh, those moments where you hear something about maybe a person you used to know or a place you used to work, and they're contracting and contracting, and you hear this and you just inwardly contract in yourself and think, oh, we dodged a bullet. We dodged a bullet. And I don't know how we dodged it, but dear goodness me, we dodged it. And again, I'm genuinely sad for the people that work there still. I am, because, it was a good place, and tough town, but a good place. And, what are they going to do now? I don't know what they're going to do now, but I don't think it's going to be great. And yeah, that does make me sad. It does. But what I'm trying to say, there is a positive in this. And when I talk about gratitude, sometimes we're grateful for the things we're given, right? But sometimes being removed from something is something to be grateful for as well. And I just wanted to share that with you because I felt like, ugh, I literally, inside of me. And I just, oh my gosh, hold on, I cut this one. Okay, I'm going to have to get a different one. I don't feel like playing. Yeah, I sliced it somehow. Anyway, I just thought I would share that because that really, so as we approach November, right? Isn't this pretty? Oh my gosh, it's so pretty. I want to do this page, and you know what? On this page, I think I will use those pretty leaves. Okay, I grabbed the leaves and I grabbed this leafy washi, which is really cute. Alrighty, so let's play with this. But yeah, I just thought I would share that. Again, I'm really sad for the people who still work there. I only know one of them who's still there, but it doesn't matter. I don't want anyone to ever have to go through losing their job and so forth, especially, when they believe in the place and the mission of the place and so on. But, people, right? And truthfully, we knew the budget was contracting a few years ago when we left. We knew. But it's even worse than we thought. And when I saw that, I just thought, oh my goodness, those poor people. But I also simultaneously said, thank goodness we left. Thank goodness. And that's the thing in life. You just never know how things are going to pan out for you. And it's a hard one to think about. But again, I don't celebrate anybody's misfortune. Goodness, no. These are so cute. Oh my goodness. I'm just having fun. And yes, I don't usually set the intentions page or whatever you want to call this. Some people use it as a currently page. I'm just using it for, to be a cheerful landing spot for me this month. Okay, we're getting there now. These bigger ones, I don't know what to do with. I think I'll use this one up top, but I don't want to, that one's slashed too. So what I'm going to do is do this, put it there, and we'll get the rest of it. It's me. It's not her stickers. Trust me, it's me. Maybe the way I pulled it off. I don't know. Alrighty, friends, there we go. Okay, you know and I know, right? If you know, you know. How cute. Now, I do want to write down, as you see, 3 different things. So I want to grab a Tombow that's going to work. So at first glance, there's obviously the pink, but I almost wonder if I use the maroon, not the brown. Although the brown would work, wouldn't it? Please tell me you obsess over ridiculous decisions like this, because I do sometimes. I don't think I want the pink, so I have to choose between these. Let's go with the maroon. The heck with it. Okay. So, and this section, let me bring it in. Okay, friends, so we have priorities here. I could have covered that important spot, but I'm going to put continue. Because, yeah, part of that healing journey is going to be sewing, which is one way of honoring my mom because she was such an incredible sewer or seamstress, pattern designer, you know. And that's something I'm enjoying sharing. So I'm calling it the series Sewing from My Heart, and it's going to be writing. Our, which is my family story. And those are my 3 priorities. Important things I'm going to add. And one of my favorite things that my mom did teach me, and I always try to share with you, is little things. Little things matter. And they do. And then finally down here. Now, I have been working to create better graphics. So I want to continue, you know, YouTube. Okay, that is, I know this isn't a goal planner, but I'm bringing some of those in here. I'm going to also add in here family time, right? And have fun, which seems ridiculous to write, but if you're always working, and we tend to be worker bees, the 2 of us, Thanksgiving plus gratitude. Yeah. And I think that looks really good. Right now, I don't know that I'm going to add anything in here yet. As I said, this is going to drop the dam flying back, and I need to get my feet on the ground to think about what I want to do in here. Gosh, this is pretty. You know, when I used to use a Carpe Diem Personal, in November, I always used the blush because I thought that went well for some reason in November, and here we are again, so that's kind of funny. But it's set up. I'm glad I'm doing this. And yeah, I think we're good here. So I'm just looking at it to see if I want to add anything else. I tend to sometimes be sparse with my stickers, and I'm trying not to do that. So hold on. Let me see here again. Let me look again. I might add a few bits and bobs more. Oh, sorry, friends. I don't mean to be, not the big ones, but even maybe a small one like up here. Yeah, I think I might add 1 or 2 more. Sorry. You know, I'm too frugal sometimes with my stickers. Yeah, this one looks good here. That goes perfectly. See the checklist? That's what they're getting rid of, and I don't think it's a bad idea. So what I'm going to do here, no, you know what I'll do? I'll use some of these. I tend to use these in my pocket planner, so maybe I won't use those. Maybe I should do one of these plaid. I love the plaid. Yeah, let's do a plaid. This is fun. I hope you're having fun, because goodness knows I am. So since I have this here, I think I'll put this up here. There we go. Small, but it adds something to it. Okay. What do you think? Very pretty. I'm tempted to go ahead and do next week, but then this video is going to be 5 hours long, and I don't mind hanging with you. In fact, I love knowing you're there with me. It brings me a lot of happiness, but let's leave it. Very cute, I have to say, very cute. And in going forward for this month, for November, for December, and then heading into next year, I want to continue to do these. Okay, let's switch. Let me clean up so I can make a mess working in my classic, which will be totally different vibes. Okay, friends, I apologize for the blind mark. This is just when I have to film. So I pretty much always do the intention section here. And we have still, I usually plan, that was my Simply Gilded. I didn't do this layout yet. I want to add some of that in and this. And if I have time, I can get into the other, but I think I know what I'm doing here. So let's start with this because again, this is dropping here and I'll be gone. But what I did this past week, if you didn't see it, is leading up to my departure, on the plane, I will be writing. I'm filming this in advance, and then I wrote little things that helped me along there. So for this, there are these, I never use Halloween stickers. I don't know why, I just never do. So this time I want to do them, use them, and have fun with them. And now as far as washi goes, I have Halloweenish washi here, there, everywhere, right? And that's really orangey. I think I'm just going to keep it simple for this one. I will use the orange pumpkins again, which I've been using a lot. I know. You know what? I think I have a pinkish pumpkin. Let me go peek. Okay, I do. I have a pink, and I have this peachy pink. It's got rose gold, but we can make that work. So you know what? We're going to have some fun with this. I'm going to do it very simple in here, and then we can get into November. But I want to get caught up, and I don't want to not decorate. And I want to decorate in here. Let's make it positive. Anyway, what I was saying is, listen, we go through a lot in this life, friends, don't we? So I just want to suggest to you, my friends, that if you're facing the ending of something, job, friendship, family situation, it's painful, and I'm not saying it isn't. And, a lot of times, sometimes we leave situations and, I kind of want to do something different today. Yeah, let's do something different. Okay, let's make this a little different than my normal. Let's just have some fun. I guess my point is endings are tough, but sometimes they're for really incredibly good reasons that we cannot see in that moment. And there's some endings, people pass away. That's just horrible and hard, and we all go through it. And, I'm grateful that I ripped the planner. I never do that. Got to be careful with this knife. It's really sharp, obviously. But in the end, the situations where people remove themselves from your life or professionally or whatever, you know what? There's a reason for it. And I don't know, somehow I believe I needed to see that this month. That was a lesson apparently that I needed. You know what? I'm going to move this. I'm always doing this, aren't I? I'm always saying, hey, I'll put this here. No, wait, I won't. But we'll see how we turn this into a pumpkin-y kind of situation for Halloween. I will be home for Halloween, so I can give all the little kitties their candy and so forth. And that'll be good. We'll just do a new one. It's not like, I have plenty of washi, so it's not like I don't. All right, let's put this one here. Yeah, I like that. I don't know. We're just doing something different today. And as I said, we'll get ready for November. That'll be good for me. That'll be good. I want to be intentional, mindful, grateful. I want to enjoy this November like nobody's business, I really do, friends. I just want to get in there and enjoy it because it's going by in a blink. Pretty soon I'm going to be talking about my 2026, my 2026 planner lineup. And I'll be glad to do that soon. And I haven't finalized everything by any means, but I have some ideas. So you know what I might do? I might do my faith planners first to see how that goes. And then I'll do, you know, things like this. Although I've been keeping you updated with what I've been doing anyway, so you probably know some of it already, but you know, I wouldn't mind this year. One of my intentions for November on the channel is to actually set things up early as I can. I think that would really be good for me. Okay. Now I'm wondering, and I wish I could talk to you, but I'm wondering if I should put this here as well. You know what I mean? Like buffer these pages, but I don't know that I want to do that. Well, maybe I do. What the hey? I've got all this washi. Why not use it? Yeah. So I didn't have to pull that one up after all, but that's okay. Anyway, so yes, I've been kind of keeping you updated. Like, you know, I'm going to use another mini horizontal, although I do intend to add some new sections into the family planner and use it the same, but add to it. How's that? And so I want to get that set up. Yeah, you know what? I actually kind of like it. It's different than what I normally do. Alrighty, friends. Now we do have a little bit of pink here, so that's something. And I may not use the rainbow shapes here, and that's okay too. All right, so there is some pink here, which I will use. And these are cute. And here we go again with more pink. So that's good. Okay. So how about this? Since I'll be coming home here, I think we can put this. I think Friday will be a busy day. Guarantee it. Friday will be busy, and that looks kind of wonky there, doesn't it? Oh, you know what? We can buffer it. Yeah, I can buffer that with other things like these or whatever. Okay. Yeah, we'll buffer that a little bit. I don't have a lot of Halloween stuff at all. I have more fall than I have Halloween, but okay. So spooky season. Okay, why don't we do a spooky season over here, since that's a flying day, and I'll just be probably a little bit exhausted. Grateful to have seen my family, don't get me wrong, very grateful, but probably a bit exhausted too. And, you know, why wouldn't I be, right? And I think we should use as many of these as we can because goodness knows, let's put this one here. So we're decorating. A lot of the way I'm decorating this is just to decorate, and that's not a bad thing either, is it? Should I put one here? Yeah, you know what? Why don't we do them all? What the hey? Let's do it all. Okay, friends. Yeah, we're just going all in, right? And I need one more here, which I guess will have to be this one. And that's fine. Okay. Yeah. Better than not decorating, if you will. And now I wanted to see about some of these, although now I've got those. I don't need them necessarily. Let's add some pumpkins and some cats, because we need all the cats, needless to say. And I should grab some, let's put you here, buddy. I love my little tuxedo girls. I share a lot of them with you, and I appreciate the fact you're always so nice about it. Oh, they're so cute. There we go, friends. Put you down here. No, you know what? I'm going to put you up there. Put you up here. And we'll put some more of these. Again, planning when you don't have a lot to plan isn't always the worst thing in the world, you know? It's just not. Put you here. And let's add some pumpkins in. Whoops. And then I'm going to get some of the larger, you'll see what I mean. A few pumpkins, I think we can add them in. Ooh, that wind is fierce today. Right? We're just making a pretty spread. And I'm telling you, I should have put this here, but I'm giving myself a day once I get back to kind of catch my breath, if you will. Right? Gosh. Okay, that's good there. I can add a small one or two if I want, or not, just depends. Well, let's do it anyway. We've got the stickers, let's use them, friends. That's kind of my attitude these days. And I even have a few little these cute pinky mushrooms. And you know what we're gonna do with these? We are gonna make it pretty, like here. Whoops. Coming from that pinky washi, that looks cute, doesn't it? Okay, let's put this one by this pinky. And the black picks up that. Yeah, this is good. This is turning out actually really nicely, I have to say. No complaints. Use all your washi. Do yourself a favor and use your washi. Now, let me go grab something. Okay, so this is Mystic Blooms, but what I want to use in here are some of these. And we're going to play with them. So how about Let Your Dreams Blossom? I like that. And ironically, not ironically, this is a sticker book I want to use for the first week in November. So let's see how we can do this. Let's take one of these. Let's do a spooky season. We're just like playing. That's all we're doing, loves. Let's do this down here for a little extra notes for when I come back. Now we're going to put you here. And we're going to do the same thing over on the other side. I'm going to use the other cat because, you know, why not? It's so cute. And then we're going to put this here. And now I need something that's going to fit there, something really small. And here we go. Who knew? Create your own magic. And again, this is a sticker book. One of those many that I sit there and say, oh, it's so gorgeous. I can't use it yet. Ugh, what are you doing, right? We're going to put you here. And then let's get some more of those little pumpkins. Let's get some more of these little pumpkins and maybe a mushroom or two. Oops, sorry. I have been taking these out of the discs, but today I decided not to just because we're kind of doing this. Boom, put that here. Put you over here. And we're going to put another cat. I think we'll put this cat over here. Cute, super cute. It's busy. It's busier than I generally prefer, but you know, no complaints. And over here, oh, this came out anyway. Let's grab these mushrooms. Put that here. Let's get a smaller pumpkin. Okay, and put that there. And I think it works. I really do. I like it. I think it's cute, friends. So what am I going to plan in here for next week? That's the question, right? Do I have another one of these that I could put here? Maybe? There's just some notes. You know what? Let's use them both. Let's put this one here. And let's use this little pumpkin. I'm just going to leave this section there. We'll use these here. That works, right? That definitely works. So the question is, what in the tarnation am I going to plan? Let me take a beat, friends. Okay, friends, I just sat down and wrote everything because this video is so long, but let's go through it really briefly. Okay, stay on my YouTube schedule, create with fun. And even though I'm filming ahead, which I don't really like to do, I am having fun creating in here, and I think that kind of matters. Writing our story, up your game. When I put that down, what I'm simply saying in that moment is that my graphics and things like that, I've been trying to work on them, and truthfully, I think I need a refresher course because so many things have changed, and I may look into something like that. Gratitude journals for November, gratitude prompts on Medium. So while I'm home, we're going to go through old family pics. So that's something that I will bring and share with you. And then I say, don't forget to film shorts, new improved graphics. That's definitely going to be a focus heading into November. Catch up, I put here, film, share, write, film and work on graphics. family stories to share and inspire, lessons and gratitude. That looks really good, if I say so myself. Now, and let me remind you how I do this. It's very simple, but I like it. So that's what we're going to do here for November. Okay, I know this is a long video, but I'm kind of good with that actually in some weird way. I just feel, yeah, I want to use these graphics for the first week in November. I think that would be really useful and helpful. And let me see, what did I just see here? Not these. Oh, I like that. Create your own adventure. Let's definitely put that in here. Hopefully it fits. Will it fit in this box? No, it won't. You know what? I'm going to put this up here. I don't care if it goes properly or not. I love it. And I think that's what I need to remind myself heading into November. And of course it's not straight. You know what? I'm going to save that one. And I'll just pop it here. I'll have to use some Tombow adhesive when I do use it. But I don't want to... It's just going to mess it up, and I'll use that during one of the weeks. I did see in here another version. Here we go. Create your own adventure in the smaller size. So why don't we use this one? Oh, yes, this is us for this month. Right? We're going to have fun. We're going to play. We're just going to create, enjoy, and so forth. Let's see what else is in here, because again, I want to use some of these. These are gorgeous. These are really gorgeous, I have to say. Sometimes with the Happy Planner, you know, they surprise you in the bestest ways, shall we say, the bestest ways. Let's take some of these little stars, which I really like. Okay, let's put a few stars here and there just to brighten this up. Yeah, I like these. These are good. Alrighty. And you know, one of the things that I've been giving thought to, and I start all kinds of writing. Some of it I come back to, some of it I don't, and it's just kind of processing things. But one of the things that I've been thinking about is bold, the word bold, being bold, asking boldly, praying boldly, remembering things in a very bold and present way. And as I think that, okay, as I think about that, I'm thinking that one of the biggest lessons my mother taught us, even if she didn't use this verbiage, was to live boldly within ourselves, to be happy. And I want to try to bring that into the channel even more, if possible, to inspire you to live boldly and to create and to push yourself sometimes out of your comfort zone. Believe me, trying to sew with my wonky vision and the this and the that is not always so easy. But in doing it, I feel really, really incredibly good and happy that I'm doing it. And bringing it and sharing that with you has been really joyous. So that's just something I wanted to mention. You know what? I almost want to use this washi that we use. It's kind of a, right? Isn't this pretty? I think we're going to put this here, maybe. Or, you know what? I have a larger version of this. Found it. Yeah, I should do a revamp of my craft room. We're going to have to cover that, take note, but that's easy to do, right, friends? We have our little pen here. Yep. Alrighty. Perfect. Funny, we used it in one, now we're using it in the other. These were, I always skulk around the sale pages of Simply Gilded, and I encourage you to do that because you can find some real bargains. And if I recall correctly, the name of this might have been something like Desert Ombre, and they were a real bargain. So just an FYI. Okay, I wouldn't mind putting something here, there, and we're gonna kind of set our intentions. Let's see here. Let me get in frame better.